You looked the same as your sister on the scan, a moving blob with 2 legs, 2 arms and an oversized head floating in the clear waters of expectation. When the sonographer joked about your undercarriage, we knew you were a boy. I wasn't looking for anything else. Your illness was invisible back then. There was no sign of the crossed wires and chemical imbalance in that dancing body that lit up the screen. We made plans and assumptions. We hoped you would have your dad's brain, his perfect nose, and his talent for hitting a ball. Secretly, I hoped you'd get my creativity, my thick hair, and my passion for the arts. You would be your sister's best friend. Your talent for music was a surprise, especially when Dad is tone deaf, and the only tune I can play on piano is When the Saints Go Marching In. And I didn't want to curb your creativity, but the way those lyrics grew in your brain with the ferocity of cancer, and were later inscribed on your arms, was obviously the first real sign. I was proud of your overwhelming sensitivity to injustice as well, until you directed it at us. We assumed that if we loved you and did right by you, you would love us back in the same unconditional way, like for like. But something I should have known is that living life isn't a process that necessarily works to plan. Not everyone gets a fair go. Sometimes love simply isn't enough. We should have known that we couldn't protect you from the ugliness of your peers, nor could we force them to accept you. We should have identified that by accepting your anger. We were doing you a disservice. The posh word for that is enabling, the psych told us, which roughly translated means that we weren't helping you by loving you that much. We weren't the great parents we assumed we would be at the scan. I still can't explain what happened to that innocent fetus that waved at us from the screen, or the perfect life we had mapped out for him. When did the cheeky grin disappear and laughing green eyes fill with hollow inkiness? Where did that obsessive desire to puncture the fabric of society come from? My heart aches when I see you now, when I know that it should be overflowing with love and pride, a mother's pride. I hate the way your dad struggles to make eye contact with you, or how much that hurts you. I hate the way I trip over my words when friends ask about you, and how the dog and your sister flinch whenever they hear your key in the door. I became that mother who could throw her son out of his home and then bathe for days in her own tears. Tell me what else I could have done. Tell me why love wasn't enough.